walked out to the White House to ask about the president's comments and on what grounds he would make an arrest. They sent out a statement that reads, in part, J.B. Pritzker and Brandon Johnson have blood on their hands. These failed leaders have stood idly by while innocent Americans fall victim to violent crime time and time again. These Trump-deranged buffoons would rather allow the violence to continue and attack the president for wanting to help make our city safe again. President Trump has for years called for his political opponents to be jailed, often on the campaign trail. But the Department of Justice has recently acted on some of those calls, with former FBI Director James Comey facing federal charges for allegedly lying to Congress. The mayor and governor say they won't back down.
Look, he's a coward. He says a lot of things to the camera. He likes to pretend to be a tough guy.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stay firm as the mayor of this amazing city.
That's right.
Now, the governor has vowed to use every lever at the state's disposal to resist deployment, including filing a lawsuit this week in an attempt to block the National Guard here to Illinois. Mayor Johnson also signed an executive order this week banning ICE and other agencies from city property for civil immigration enforcement. We're live in the newsroom. Marissa Perlman, CBS News, Chicago. Chris?
Marissa, thank you. We've learned the name now of a man found dead in Fox Lake after he went for a test ride on a boat 2 days ago. We told you about this earlier this week. After searching Lake County, police recovered the body of 51-year-old Larry Sikorsky of Gurnee yesterday afternoon. On Monday, a second man was pulled to safety by a nearby boater. He is expected to be okay. At the U.S. Supreme Court in Washington, an Illinois election case took center stage today. The court heard oral arguments in a suit challenging mail-in voting in Illinois. That lawsuit is led by Republican Congressman Mike Bost. Bost argues that allowing mail-in ballots to be counted up to 2 weeks after an election violates the federal law establishing an election day. If the Supreme Court rules in Bost's favor, it could force a lower court to issue a ruling on that law. A look at Capitol Hill right now. The government shutdown now in its 8th day. Since the shutdown, many air traffic controllers across the country haven't shown up to work at airports nationwide because they're not getting paid. The FAA said O'Hare saw significant delays yesterday as a result. 290 flights have been delayed at O'Hare today, 8 of them canceled. That's about 300 fewer delays than the same time yesterday, so a slight improvement here. However, stormy weather affected many of those flights as well. All right, let's continue to talk weather. I'm here in the weather sphere with David Gilmans. We're talking frost in the near future.
Yeah, I'm getting cold just thinking about it. It's been a while since we've seen
Maybe overdue.
Right. It is October, right? We have a frost advisory actually in effect for parts of the area, so let me take you to the floor. This is not for Chicago. This is actually not for anybody in our Illinois viewing area either. This is instead for northwest Indiana. Notice the frost advisory includes parts of Wisconsin, a lot of Michigan, but in our northwest Indiana viewing area, this is issued for widespread frost that's expected overnight through about 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, concurring with the growing season. So I'm talking to the farmers, the growers, or if you yourself have any plants in the backyard that might be affected, this is for you in northwest Indiana tonight. Again, a frost advisory for one of the first widespread frosts of the season. Actual low temperatures where you live kind of depends on where you are. Closer to the lake, which is record warm for this late in the season, 69 degrees or so, will be milder, 48 in the Loop, 48 in Midway. But let's zoom into some of the colder locales. 41 degrees tonight in Elgin, while we'll be at 45 in Wheeling, 39 tonight, by tomorrow morning in Elbert. The Fox River Valley out to Ottawa and LaSalle, a lot of upper 30s showing up by morning. The same true in parts of Kankakee County into northwest Indiana. We'll be at 39 degrees tomorrow morning in Valparaiso. Even though many of us will see jacket weather to start, what a spectacular afternoon. Tomorrow, a lot like today, but even more sunshine. Up to 61 in Chicago by lunchtime, and a very typical October high of 64 a little bit later in the afternoon. Coming up in your first alert forecast, a first look at wind highs return to the 70s in your 7-day outlook. Chris?
David, thanks. Former U.S. Representative Jesse Jackson Jr. launched his campaign to return to Congress. Jackson says he made his announcement today to honor his dad, civil rights leader, of course, Reverend Jesse Jackson, on his 84th birthday.
Responding to a draft movement to enter this race. Like my father before me, I ask for your vote as a vote for a new direction for this district.
Jackson is vying to replace Robin Kelly, the outgoing representative of Illinois' South 2nd Congressional District. It's the same district that Jackson represented from 1995 to 2012. In 2013, he pleaded guilty to misusing